Today we have with us Siva. Siva is currently working as a data scientist in CBRE South Asia Private Limited. And Shiva has been our student, right? One of our students who successfully ventured into this field of data science. So let's hear from Siva on how did he actually get into this field of data science and how did 360DigiTMG actually help him? Yeah, over to you, Siva.
Yeah, thanks, Bernie. So I had a total, I'm having a total of 10 plus years experience. So I was working on ServiceNow earlier, and I thought of taking a career break, and I went off to give my groups and civil services. And I took like 2 years break, and I came back. So everything changed actually. Then I was trying on ServiceNow, and things didn't work out. Then that was the time when the data analytics and the data science was doing very good. So I thought of like, why don't we go as a fresher and into the data science stream? So I ventured a couple of good institutions in and out of Hyderabad, so where I'm based, located at, and I have to shortlist, and based on that, and yeah, I finally found 360DigiTMG, and I contacted one of your associates and went through the curriculum first to understand what exactly data science. We all do our research, right? So based on the internet, and what exactly data science does and what it is, and how it is, how 360 Digi curriculum is exactly matching the current expectations of the market in the first place, and how we start. So because frankly speaking, everyone talks about data science, but everyone doesn't know the basic maths behind that. That is where every other institution fails actually, to start with the probability and the linear algebra and stats and everything which comes into picture. So that is what made me take a decision to go with 360 GMB in the first place. And then the curriculum for intense, it was like 2.5 to 3 months actually, touching each and every basic topics and the important aspects of whatever topics they taught, and again then the practice assignments, and whatever challenges you face on the doubt sessions and clearing on all this stuff on the weekend assignments. Yeah, it all takes time. It's not an easy process, I would say, but eventually you'll reap the fruit once you go through all these things. And that was a fruitful journey for me, and it is like almost 2+ years as a data scientist for me after I graduated from 360 with a diploma. Yeah, the journey is pretty good, and currently I'm placed at CBRE South Asia. Most of you doesn't know, CBRE is a commercial real estate giant. So almost 70% of the commercial real estate holdings is dealings are all done by CBRE actually, for
Okay.
Amazon, Google, or whatever thing you call. And yeah, so that is my journey so far.
Very interesting. And I'm very, very happy for you, Siva.
Thank you.
And Siva has rightly told that, friends, do your research before joining any training institute for that case. Look at the curriculum, look at the job description, see whether it is in sync or not. Otherwise, the only thing that will happen is you'll get trained, but you would never see the light. That means you would never get a job, right? You'll just remain as a trained resource. And Siva, I believe you have also worked on certain projects as
Right,
part of the
exactly.
journey, right?
Right.
How was your experience with respect to those projects, Siva?
I would say pretty interesting. Right now, I'm learning a new thing inside this thing. Like, so we mostly deal with commercial real estate, and most of our projects are internal actually. So right now, what I am doing is like, so we have several clients. Actually, CBRE has several clients, and they default on payments. So right now, we are dealing with an algorithm. So it kind of like who defaults on these account receivables by number of days and their amounts, and we sent out a notifications, and that was done. And to then enhancement to the same project we are doing is like we are implementing the pipelines using the code for the same. So Qflow is a new thing. I don't think out in the market, no one, most of the people doesn't know. Whenever they get onto the project, they know what a Qflow is and how they do the implementations and what
Yeah.
exactly does it do. That's a new thing currently I'm learning now. So prior to that, so I was doing, so prior to that, I was working for E5E. So where I did a couple of projects. The one was like, so the customer wants to send out coupons. This is like a uh, the food technology giant out of the years. He wants to send out coupons for the most successful customers to increase his sales, boost his sales basically. So that was one of the projects there, and yeah, that was pretty good, and that gave pretty good insights. And yeah, I did some NLP kind of stuff. So not completely, to a part in CBRE itself. So yeah, that is my journey so far.
Wonderful, wonderful. And you have done a project with InnoDataTix also.
Right, that's
Internship
right.
project, right? Yeah.
Right.
How was that experience when you compare it with the current experience? Were there some learnings which has actually helped?
Exactly. Yeah, certainly, because the NLP project which I did as part of CBRE, right? So those required some word embeddings and all this stuff. How do you do the sentence tokenization? So whenever you're comparing multiple documents, how do you run through it actually? So, and bring in those differences and tabulate them. So, and when you want to generate a report as per client specific requirements, be it any reporting tool, but unless you don't have an understanding of this, so you're not going to go anywhere. So you need to understand how this is done in the first place, how these word embeddings or sentence tokenizations. So my first project at InnoDataTix, how to compare different documents and how to bring out these differences. That experience helped me a lot over here to understand how this is done in the first place.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much. And one final question for you would be, a lot of our students want to hear from their alumnus, from people who got successfully placed like you are, right? And if they were to ask you on what is the one single most important suggestion that you wish to give to our students to get into this field of data science, then what would that be, Siva?
I would say is like stick to the basics. Unless you don't have the basics of maths and statistics, data science is nothing. You won't even understand anything. Even when you get into a job, if you don't understand the maths and the logic behind those algorithms, you're not going to get anywhere, because all the high people deal with the high level things, and unless you don't understand the things how they run, so you're not going anywhere. So stick to the basics first.
Absolutely. There we go. Siva is saying that stick to the basics, prepare very well on your basics, and the success would obviously fall in line. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much, Siva, for your time. And thank you so much for sharing your insights, which will be helpful for our students. Thank you.
Thanks, Bernie. I wish 360 Digit all the very best with their future endeavors.
Thank you. Thank you, Siva, and all the best to you as well. I'm certain you'll rock the show.